10 things to consider before buying your first straight razor. Hey, Eric here with Adventures in Wet Shaving, and tonight we're answering the question, how do I pick out my first straight razor? Number one, first thing you need to consider when you're picking out your first straight razor, do you want carbon steel or do you want stainless steel? All right, for me, I went with stainless steel. All right. And it was just a maintenance issue, which we'll get to later on in this video. But some people do claim the carbon steel gets a smoother shave than the stainless steel. Number two, the biggest thing to think about and consider is price. How much do you want to spend on this? All right? You can spend as little as, like this razor, Gold $1.66. I bought that for $5.35. Now, I did have to hone it, and you would have to get somebody to hone it if you didn't have that, but easy enough, you could do it. Next, you could go ahead and go with this ZY. I think I got this for $20 to $40, somewhere in that range, already honed up, shave ready. All right, and you don't need much else after that except for a good strop. All right, so price is important. Now, those were two brand new ones. Now, for example, this guy here, this Wade & Butcher, which you guys have seen, this one is and out of the 1800s. All right, and I've got several like that, and the price on this is more. All right, now again, this one here, this is my magnetic silver steel, and this is out of the early 1930s. All right, and guys, I paid like $20 for this. The only thing it had was a crack here. I had to grind out this shoulder and make it shoulderless. All right, so you can get these razors at a good price used, but you have to be careful what you're getting as well. Number three, new or old. Again, it's involved in the price thing. Do you want vintage, or would you like to have something new? Okay, new razors, no problem, no big deal. You can get your hands on one of those and you can go right to town on it. There are places on the internet you can buy them. All right. Number four, and for me, this is probably one of the most important of all of the aspects. Now that I've been shaving for quite a while. So that would be the grind. Now, on this Wade & Butcher from Sheffield, England, out of the 1800s, guys, check that out. That is a wedge. And I got to tell you, these are some of my most comfortable shavers that I have. All right, just excellent razors, and just incredible. Now, this is my ZY 430, okay, and now check this out. That is a, let's see, that's probably a quarter hollow. All right, that's a quarter hollow. And I got to tell you, shoulderless, inexpensive, and this actually is a great shaver. Okay. Next, got this one. This actually, again, is that gold $1.66. All right. Inexpensive, right from China. All right. And now this one, guys, is, I'm going to say that is probably a half hollow. All right, to me that's a half hollow. Again, this one had more of a shoulder on it, but I ground most of it off, and that is just made it much easier to hone. Okay. Next, on this magnetic silver steel that you guys have seen, this guy, that is really a full hollow ground, in my opinion. See how skinny down here it is. This guy is quite a shaver, all right? But now this one, not for the beginner, okay? I would steer you away from this. The quarter hollow, or the wedge actually are my most comfortable shavers. All right, now this is the last one that I have put online over here. And now this guy, this one, the Haddon brand by W.R. Humphreys and Company, and this is Sheffield, England. All right, now if you check this out, I'm going to try to get it. There you go. Now this actually is a belly hollow, and now you see right here, very skinny, and then here it gets thick again. And this is really interesting razor. You have the hollow ground, but down here is by the actual cutting part of the blade, it's actually thicker than in the middle. All right, and I think you can kind of see that there. But now if I turn it this way, there you go. If I turn it this way, you can see that that bottom section here is raised. All right, very cool. Very cool. There you go. There it is on that side as well. All right. Next, this guy. Okay. This guy here is an extra hollow ground. Now, see how much more of this is hollowed out, and it just goes straight down into that blade. All right. So the full hollow, the extra hollow, and in this, belly grind hollow as well. The belly grind actually pretty forgiving, but the full hollow and the extra hollow, those are not as forgiving. So tread with care. I really like the half hollow, the quarter hollow, and the wedges, guys. They're my favorites. Okay, number 5. What kind of tips? Now, this is a great beginner razor because see here, you've got this nice rounded tip. So you don't have anything there that can bite you too badly. And it's also rounded back here, which makes it pretty good for this. Now, here is that 1930s magnetic silver steel. Again, round tip. I did this work and made that round. Really helps, okay? Now, the other kind of tip you could get is this, and that's either a square tip or a Spanish point, okay? And guys, that thing can bite you. So I would actually probably stay away from something like that, at least in the beginning. Now, here, this is my Wade & Butcher for gentleman's use. All right. Now, again, this actually has got kind of a rounded tip on it, but it's got a barber's notch as well. Now, this, guys, really is for barbers. It's not like you can use this on yourself. What I believe they used to do is a barber would hold it like this, and then they would actually shave, and that would give them the control they needed. I can't imagine doing that to myself. So for me, the barber's notch, it's all about the cool factor. Number 6, what size of razor should I get for my first straight razor? All right, I know there's a lot of information out there about this. A lot of people like the 5/8 blade. A lot of people like a 6/8 blade. Personally, something like this is just wonderful. Okay, so now if I take and we measure this, you have got a good 13/16 there, guys. That is, in my opinion, brilliant. That is a good size to start with, readily available most places. Now let me show you this. Now this is a little Wade & Butcher I have, and I haven't got to it yet, but I will. Alright, so now let's measure this. If we look at this one now, okay, right there, you have 5/8, and that to me seems small. So you can make up your own mind. I know a lot of people say that's the size of razor to start with. I actually started with something bigger, a 13/16, and really enjoyed that. And that has been pretty much my mainstay. Now this Wade & Butcher for gentlemen's use, if you look at that, this guy is 15/16 to an inch. All right, and big blade, but love it, love it. This is one of my favorite shavers here. Number 7, how to measure a straight razor blade. This is a good question. All right, now I'm going to pull this guy out again, and what we do when we're measuring, you're going to want to measure from the spine to the edge, okay, like that. You're also going to want to measure down here on these older blades to see if it's any shorter, because sometimes the distance here and here is different. All right, now to measure the length of the blade, you're going to measure across this way, okay. Now that gives you how long it is. This is going to give you how wide the blade is. The next thing you could do is go like this and get the thickness of the blade. All right, and all of those are ways to measure these. Now I also know there's going to be people out there that are going to measure the full length. Honestly, guys, I really don't care. I don't care about the full length so much, because this tail can be longer, it can be shorter. What really matters is the blade length here and the width here, all right, and the thickness. You get those together, and I personally like about a 3-inch blade for length. It's just a matter of preference. I actually like the 6/8 to 13/16 kind of for everyday shavers. It just gives you more material to hone off later. Number 8, how hard is it to hone or strop one of these razors? Now, here's the thing, guys. This is a wedge. However, when I say that, here's what happens. If I can get that in the right light, there you go. Okay, you can see the hone wear here and on the edge, all right? Because this actually is slightly hollow. It is so hard to tell when you look at it, but these are slightly hollow here on both sides. It is called a wedge, but it's not a true wedge, okay? Now, this will be a little harder to hone. For me, I haven't found it's like a huge big deal, but you, when you're stropping on a good strop, what happens is you get more drag because you have more of this blade in contact with the leather than what you would have with, say, for example, like this half hollow, okay? Here, you're only going to have here in the edge of the blade on that leather, okay? And that's all you're going to have. So that drag factor is just going to be those 2 points. And it will be easier to strop, okay? So that's something you consider. Number 9, should I have more than one straight razor? Okay, listen, it's always good to have backup, all right? But you can start with one and get used to it and see how you like it. And I would start with one and then go from there. Number 10, maintenance and care of your straight razor. Now, first thing you should do is after you shave with this, go ahead and rinse it off. I personally don't get this hinge point wet. I will rinse off from here down because that's all I'm going to get soap on. That's just me. Your mileage may vary depending on how you shave. But from here down, I get wet and then I towel dry that off, okay? Next, and again, this is my ZY 430, guys. This is stainless steel. And I'm telling you that it is stainless, all right? That does not mean it won't stain. It can, all right? You need to be careful even with the stainless steel razor. So what I normally do is I take this little bottle of mineral oil. This is food grade mineral oil in here. And I'm just going to put a line down this side. And I'm going to put a line down this side like that. Okay. And there you go. All right. Then I'm just going to take my fingers and I'm going up and down on the spine. All right. And I'm going to get the ends. Then when you get to the blade, you just pinch off away from the blade. Okay, I'm going to put a little bit there, put a little bit here, like that. I'm going to get just a nice thin coat, and I'm going to put a little bit on that tail as well. All right, and then I'm going to store this outside of the shaving den, or what we would normally call the bathroom. All right, that way it is away from moisture and condensation and all these other things. All right, hopefully this has been helpful for you guys. Hey, thank you guys so much for watching all the way to the end. Really appreciate you and all you do for me. Please click over here and you can find why I straight razor shave. Click down here for a video especially for you. Click over here on me and you can subscribe, like, comment, share this video with your friends. Have a great shave and a good day, and I will see you next time on Adventures in Wet Shaving.